quiet laughter filling our heart. Is this bond a life spark which has a mastered art? Who are they? What is the invisible force that connects us? They are the ones, those who compete without a prize to gain, yet stand as one when storms bring pain. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. I'm Darshini, a ninth grader from KRMPublicSchool, India, here before you today to present my TED talk on the topic, the unspoken bond of sibling rivalry. It starts from the morning brushing race and continues till mom's night kiss. It is a never-ending marathon between my sibling and I. But he fails to understand that I already won by being the firstborn kid. Do you guys wanted to know how this race turns into an actual rivalry? Did you think that he dropped nuclear bomb on me? No, it's worse than that. When I have the powerful sword in my hand, which has buttons in it and enables me to control. And yes, it's the TV remote. And that's where the struggle starts between my sibling and me. I say that I want to watch my favorite cartoon, and my brother says that he wants to watch his boring car games. When mom serves a bowl full of fries, we run to choose the heavier one. We have a number of spoons at home, but our choice is always the one that is picked by the other one. Deciding who gets the so-called cozy spot in the bedroom, who enters the washroom first, who gets the front seat in car. Wait. Do you want to listen to my full list? Well, it would take your eternal life to complete it. The question that ponders in both of our minds is, who is the favored child? I always felt that my brother was the favored child as he has the tag of being the youngest one in the family. But no one realizes that he is the wickedest person in the whole world for me. Being a little one, he gets more time to spend with my parents. Where I had to stay with my granny, I feel aloof. Even when we had an argument which changed into a serious fight on the arrival of zombies, which was about to happen for us, we roll and fight. When our parents hold us, my doubt is why my nail marks are visible in his hands and his punches goes unseen. I always felt that my brother was the favored child, and I went back to my thought and repented myself for being a firstborn kid. I hate to listen to this word which keeps ringing in the life of a firstborn kid. Do you have any guesses? Yes, it is responsibility. For everything and anything, I was reminded that I am a firstborn kid and I should be responsible. The worst part is when people told me I should be a good example to my own sibling. I had a good idea. Let me be the worst kid ever, and my brother copies my action and he would get all the punishment. As the famous proverb, a bad apple spoils the bunch. According to my study in various research, such as the Birth Order book by Dr. Kevin Lehman in the year 1985, the effects of birth order on personality by Dr. Frank Salovey in the year 1996, birth order and responsibility by Dr. J.R. Harris in the year 2000, and a comparative study of birth order and personality by the International Journey of Indian Psychology, which was issued in the year 2023, and there are also bodies of research, surveys, statistics, academic journal, and books which states that firstborns tend to score higher in agreeableness than their lastborn sibling. Firstborns also have more neurotic pathways which makes them to be responsible, conscientious, and rule-abiding, which was said by Dr. J.R. Harris and Dr. Frank Salovey. I had a doubt. If I had a sister, my life would be easier and happier. And I shared the same with my closest friend. And she made me realize that I was wrong. She said that being punched in stomach is better than being scratched by nails. I was a little offended and I ignored the thought of having a sister. I was surprised to see the bond which twins actually share. When one cries, the other does. Wow, what a bond! But it is factual that twins mirror their neural pathways, which enables them to sense their siblings' emotion. Imagine you are planning a plot to defeat your own sibling, but your sibling already knows it. Oh God, it's okay for me to have a brother, but what about an only child? Born alone but never truly apart. Who is going to fill the role of sibling in your heart? Is it a friend, a cousin, or a furry mate who is going to play the role of sibling in your fate? Missing a sibling? Adopt a sibling or create a sibling squad with your friends, cousins, and pets. According to my survey, 12% of my responses are single child as they are not having an annoying sibling. And I asked them whom would they prefer as their sibling. Obviously, first preference went to friends, second preference went to pets, last but not at least, third preference went to cousins. I decided to follow a set of rules within my sibling bond. Rule number 1. Never admit your sibling is right even though they are. When my brother says that the sun rises in the east, I will not accept it. I will travel to the poles of the earth and prove that he is wrong. Even if he helps me for a good cause, I still doubt his evil nature. Rule number 2. Forget your siblings' achievements but remember their failures. One day, my brother secured second place for 200 meters running and my family was rejoicing. Can you guess how I stopped his smile? My question was simple. I just asked him whether there were only two runners in the race. Don't think that I sound bad. He's worse than me. He reorders my test papers in ascending score, where I had to get scolding from the first test paper. Rule number 3. Don't share. Imagine you are sharing your darkest secret with your sibling, and that would be your worst mistake. One day, my sibling found out that I was afraid of insects and he started to tease me. And after a couple of minutes, I found out that he was my same category. And then we promised each other that we would not share our secrets. Rule number 4. Fight but forgive. Maybe all of us would have crossed this stage. We fight but we forgive. Did you mistake me that I would forgive my own sibling? No way. Is it confusing? Let me brief you. When we had a wrestling match between us, we hide our nail marks, fist turns, punches, and smacks before mother enters the pavilion. Because our mother is not a corner man who would compromise both the wrestlers. Instead, she would tackle us. Rule number 5. Mastering the art of irritating. Have you heard of this famous proverb? A smile is the universal welcome mat. But can you people think, can a smile irritate a person? Yes, my brother's wicked smile irritates me a lot. When I get scolding from my mother, when I had too many subjects to be covered, when my decisions are not heard, oof, that wicked smile never vanishes from my mind. How would I forgive him? When our dad buys ice cream, I would wait until my brother finishes his one. At that time, the flavor which I hate the most would be the tastier one for me. Is it confusing to hear out my rules? Let me make it simple. Rule number 1. Sister's rule can be modified only by the sister. Rule number 2. Sister should be the favored one. Rule number 3. Keep up with rule number 1 and 2. I was living my life happily by following my rules. But there is a person who never leaves me to live my life happily. And one day, he secured gold medal. He came home took a sketch and ran into the kitchen and started to draw something. I was happy that I got an opportunity to accuse my brother for drawing on the wall. But when I went closer to the image, there was a cute boy doll holding a trophy, and beside him there was a crying ugly witch. It took me 5 minutes to realize that I was the crying ugly witch. I became angry. I used my invisible rule and I bet him, and he started to cry. My parents took me inside their room. I expected a feast for my brother and blast for me. But surprisingly, they didn't punish me this time. Instead, tears rolled out from their eyes. Unknowingly, I was crying. And that's where my mother started to share her story. She said that a day will come when your parents would not accompany you, but your sibling will. I just thought it was a piece of advice, but then she shared her real story. Her sibling, who was just a 12th grader, passed away. Imagine, your annoying sibling is not anymore. You may feel happy, but then it pains a lot. Because when we have something, we don't realize the value of it. But when we lose it, we realize the actual value of it. And my dad continued. When he was a jobless youngster, he came to Chennai for his job, where his siblings stay in hometown. He said that no words were spoken, no actions were taken, but the invisible force which connects siblings is the true sibling bond. And that's where I realized why extra responsibility is kept on a firstborn kid. I realized that my brother is too small and he needs more care to be given. And I also wanted to share a story. A single engine Cessna was flying in the air. When it was flying over the Amazon rainforest, it got disappeared. The radars cut off. It carried 7 passengers, which ended up with 3 passengers' death and 4 children's survival for 40 days. Can you guess their ages? 13 years old, 9 years old, 4 years old, and 11 months baby. They stayed in Amazon rainforest for 40 days with dangerous animals and species. Their grandmother, Fatima Valencia, states that the eldermost one, Leslie, used to take care of her siblings in the absence of their mother, and that helped them a lot in the jungle. And this shows how siblings take responsibility. Recently, I spread out my wings and dived into the wings of fire. And this text touched my heart. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam wanted to study in MIT, Madras Institute of Technology, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. But due to his financial constraints, he was unable to pursue aeronautical engineering in his dream college. His sister, Ms. Zohara, sacrificed her golden bangles and necklace. She gave them to mortgage, which made Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam to study in his dream college. This shows how siblings sacrifice for each other. And that's where I understood that my brother was the one who taught me more life lessons. He made me a wrestler in this unsafe world. He told me how to accept everything and how to withstand failures and face criticisms. He's the one who told me that I am not alone and I am also a favored child. And he is the one who motivated me a lot to stand here in front of you guys. And I also wanted to share another story. Have you heard of women who stay unmarried after their death of their siblings or any other kind of issues? Yes, there are siblings who do that. And one such is Miss Pearson, who stayed unmarried after the death of her sister, and she raised her nephews as if they were her biological children. And this shows how siblings help each other. Have you ever wondered why siblings are important? Yes, I am talking about the research, The Importance of Siblings, which was done by Dr. Sidhu Sean in the year 2019 through the website UNM Health Sciences Center. And it states that there is evidence to suggest healthy sibling relationship which could promote empathy, pro-social behavior and academic achievements between siblings. And I also wanted to give another example. Have you heard of young Indian grandmaster and women grandmaster? Yes, I'm talking about Pragyananda Ramesh Babu and Vaishali Ramesh Babu. They help each other through sharing tactics and tricks in the same field they work for India. And yes, it's chess. And that's where I understood how siblings help each other, not because they forget their achievements, but to help them in their failures. And let's not forget the celebration mood. We celebrate Raksha Bandhan, which means protecting bond, on the month of August during Purnima or full moon day, where sisters tie Rakhi in the hands of their brothers. Brothers promise that they would protect their sisters, and the best part is, brothers would also give a gift to their sisters. Tie Rakhi in your brother's hand for a gift, which would give you a motivational lift. And this made me to remember my life incident. During Raksha Bandhan, I tied Rakhi in my brother's hand and he gave me a gift, which had a keychain with a collage of his image and my image, along with a greeting card which had a cute girl doll holding a cute boy doll. This time I found out that the cute girl doll was me in seconds. But then I was still angry on him as his cuteness was overloaded. Jokes apart, there are also another set of events across the world, such as the Sibling Day, which is celebrated on 10th April in United States and Canada, where they honor their siblings. And let's honor our siblings through these kind of events. Our life story has different shades, but this bond never fades because we fight with each other and we fight for each other. Let us make this unspoken bond spoken and unbroken. Thank you.